What's good, everybody? The Fall Stars featured program just dropped in MLB The Show, and honestly, it is the best featured program that we have had all year. It is absolutely unbelievable. All the bosses are incredible cards. S-tier cards, pretty much all of them except for probably one, but it was incredibly hard to rank all these cards. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna be nitpicking little things here and there just to get them above the other cards. But the reality of the situation is that all 9 of these cards are usable for your team. If you make any of these choices, don't feel bad. If you got to fill a certain need on your squad, but I got one guy ahead of another and you don't really need that position, or you don't really like that guy's swing or whatever, just take the guys that you really like, because all of these are such amazing cards, and we're gonna jump right into it. If you like this sort of content, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, it helps out a ton. Just to go through this feature program, it's slightly different, and the only reason is because along the way, we're gonna actually get a copy of each of these henchmen. This Whitey Ford, Madison Bumgarner, Willie Stargell, Joe Carter, Kirk Gibson, and Luis Gonzalez. And here's the thing about the Luis Gonzalez card, it's not quite as good as the bosses. However, this Luis Gonzalez card is kind of cracked and everybody's getting him for free. 125 contact right, 117 contact left, 125 power right, and 125 power left. He's got 80 fielding, 82 reaction, and only 60 speed. So I don't really even blame anybody if you like Luis Gonzalez, throwing him on your ranked squad. He's gonna be a great bench bat regardless. I felt like I had to mention him because even the henchmen are really good. So I would take a look through their stats. Luis Gonzalez is the only one that I would really use, but either way, these cards are amazing. And we're gonna jump right into the rankings. At number 9, we're gonna have Francisco Lindor. And once again, all these cards are S-tier cards. They are incredible. You can choose any of them. The only one that I would say is probably not S-tier is gonna be this Lindor card. And that's only because of one single factor, and that is that 95 contact versus right. He is a switch hitter, which is really cool, but he doesn't play any other secondaries. We have gotten a lot of really good shortstops recently. Jimmy Rollins, Barry Larkin, Bo Bichette. I'd rather use all 3 of them over Francisco Lindor. That 95 contact right does not play at this point in the year. And also 105 power right and 103 power left isn't amazing either. He does have incredible fielding. He's got 76 speed, but I'm just not messing with him. Coming in at number 8 is gonna be Bob Gibson. Again, an amazing card. He's got a fastball, slider, sinker, curveball, changeup. He's kind of got the speed differentials. He has outlier on that fastball. 110 hits per 9, 106 Ks per 9, and 88 walks per 9. So the reason that I put him at 8 is because of that walks per 9 number. Walks per 9 are so incredibly valuable at this point in the year. The par is going to be a little bigger than you really want on this Bob Gibson card. So he's going to be a little more wild than your normal standard pitcher in the game. He does have a really good pitch mix. The speed differentials are pretty okay because he has outlier on the fastball. The sinker is 95, the slider is 90. I think Bob Gibson's going to give people problems, but I put him at 8 because, like I said, we're nitpicking. We got Dennis Eckersley coming in at number 7. The reason that we picked Dennis Eckersley for number 7 is because he's a reliever. You're not probably going to use him too much. There's other pretty decent relievers in the game right now, but this card is actually really good. Sinker, slider, fastball, and he's got a curveball. You're probably not going to be utilizing the curveball too much, but it's not a bad pitch. He's got 125 hits per 9, 120 Ks per 9, and 125 walks per 9, which is absolutely insane. He's got control over every pitch. He's got a tremendous amount of break outside of the fastball, but that's okay. But Dennis Eckersley comes in at number 7 because there's too many great cards in this program. At number 6, we got Joe Mauer. Now, I know that's going to be a little controversial, but realistically, like I said, all these cards are amazing, so it's just very hard to rank any of them. The reason that we had Joe Mauer down a little bit is because of that power versus left. 92, not impressive, but either way, honestly, he's still going to crank home runs versus lefties. Almost maxed out fielding everywhere. 55 speed for a catcher is really good. Max contact on his base card, 115 power on his base card. It's kind of wild because we have another catcher in the program that's coming up on the list. I can barely rank Joe Mauer below him, but we just went with it because we deducted some points because he didn't have triple digit power. At number 5, I got Chris Sale because I think this Chris Sale card is going to be filthy, and I think he may make rotations for the rest of the year. 120 hits per 9, 118 Ks per 9, and 100 walks per 9. He's got triple digits in all 3 of those stats. The most important, of course, is that hits per 9 and the walks per 9. Having triple digits in both of them means that the par is going to be a reasonably small range, and the 120 hits per 9 is going to keep your opponent's PCI super small. It's going to be much harder for them to hit the ball, and I love that. Plus, he's got really good speed differentials. He doesn't have outlier, but he does have a 96 mile an hour fastball and a 94 mile an hour sinker, 80 mile an hour slider, 87 mile an hour circle change. So you got 3 different speeds, and Chris Sale's windup throws certain people off. There's a lot of people that can't really tell the pitch out of his hand, and they get confused out of it because of that kind of sidearm action that he's got going on in his windup. I'm one of those people. I have trouble with Chris Sale, so I know this card is going to absolutely dominate. Coming in at number 4 is gonna be Vlad Sr. Vlad is unbelievable. This card is absolutely cracked. Maxed out power and contact versus lefties, maxed out contact versus righties, and 104 power versus righties. Vlad is just gonna hit home runs all the time. He's going to be an absolute beast. 99 arm out in right field. He's gonna be throwing out everyone who's trying to tag up. It's gonna be an absolute massacre in the field. It's gonna be amazing. 78 speed. Vlad kind of has it all. His swing is amazing. His earlier cards were absolutely incredible. I'm excited for this Vlad Sr. card. Coming in at number 3 is Jimmie Foxx, and the reason that I had to rank him at number 3, 125, 125, 125, 125. The man has maxed out hitting stats versus righties and lefties. He is the best hitting card in the game right now. And little secret, little spoiler alert, he's not the only guy in this program with maxed hitting stats. This is how insane the Fall Stars featured program is. He doesn't have great defense, but realistically, you could slot him in at the catcher position and get away with a 75 arm and also have maxed hitting stats. Jimmie Foxx is an absolute beast. It was hard for me to say that he's better than Joe Mauer. Mauer came in at number 6 on this list, and I still can't figure out if I would rather put Mauer out there with his amazing defense or put out Foxx with his maxed out hitting stats. The differences between these players are so minuscule that, again, I have to reiterate, you can pick any one of them. And here's our next completely maxed out hitting stats card. It is Babe Ruth. 125 contact right, 125 contact left, 125 power right, and 125 power left. He is an absolute menace. 75 fielding, not bad. 67 reaction, that's gonna be rough, but realistically you can play him at first base and he may very well be the best first baseman in the game. He probably is. 64 speed, 86 arm, and he has one of those swings that everybody loves. There's not much else to say about this card. It is a monster and I cannot wait to use it. But for me, the number one card in the program has to be Ken Griffey Jr. This is the 99 overall Griffey that we were dying for. 122 contact right, 111 contact left, 125 power right, and 121 power left. Griffey is never going to fail you. He is going to be an absolute monster. I really cannot wait to play with this card. 98 fielding, 95 reaction, 95 arm, 90 speed. He definitely gets the nod over those max hitting stats players because he also has almost maxed out fielding. So where he lacks a little bit in the contact versus left, the 111 is still amazing as is, he's going to make up for it in the field. I know I don't have to sell anybody on Griffey being number one. He has the sweetest swing in the game, and this card is unbelievable, but this may very well be the most well-balanced card in the game at this point. So as you can see, after going through all those cards, it is unbelievably hard to rank these guys. They are all amazing. The only guy I probably wouldn't put on S tier is Francisco Lindor. It's possible that Bob Gibson isn't as great as he looks on paper, but realistically, the rest of these cards are all kind of interchangeable. So if you like Joe Mauer better than Jimmie Foxx because you put more into catcher defense, then by all means, grab that Joe Mauer. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me know in the comment section below who's your favorite. If you don't think Griffey is the best, let me know. And I'm on Twitch Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy your weekend.